Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Core Studio. Welcome to the show. Okay, so day 3 of Duskmourn Spoiler season is here, and oh my goodness, during spoiler season, I absolutely love when I wake up and I just look at my phone and I'm like, yeah, that's a card. That is an awesome card, and that's what I'm saying it with. Unstoppable Slasher, which is a brutally awesome card, a 2/3 zombie assassin with Death Touch for 3 mana in black. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, they lose half their life rounded up. Oh, so brutal. But it gets even better. When it dies, if it had no counters on it, return to the battlefield, tapped under its owner's control with 2 stun counters on it. So it's kind of like, the slasher movie trope of like, okay, there's the, bad guy dude, or, oh, they think they took him out. Nope, just like down for a little bit and then back up and add him in no time at all. So essentially, when this dies, well, you're going to be getting it back again, and then, slight delay before you can use it again, and then again, slight delay before you can use it again. So this actually does have the potential, again, just for a deck that can get it through. If you've got a commander maybe that can give it some evasion, or just, utilize those other, half-life things, or you've got the, wound reflection type thing where you're doubling it up and then taking someone out in one shot, that's great. Or yeah, double strike works really well with this too. But also keep in mind, Solemnity plus this equals, plus this plus Sacrifice Outlet equals infinite, because Solemnity is like, hey, things don't get counters, basically. So with that, or any other way to kind of remove those counters or move them around, make sure you're considering that too, because yeah, this could be a combo piece as well. There is no delay when it comes back. It's not like, okay, yeah, the end step. No. It's right away. Return right away to the battlefield. So it could be creature fodder for you too. It's a very interesting card at the very least. I think it's a really cool card, and one that I think has potential in the right deck. And it does have zombie especially, has 2 very, very, very relevant tribes. So there you go. Moving on. Silent Hallcreeper, a 1/1 enchantment creature for 2 mana in blue. Can't be blocked. Deals counter to a player. Choose one that hasn't been chosen. 2 counters on it. Draw a card. It becomes a copy of the target creature you control. This is one of the more interesting ways that I've ever seen a kind of clone type creature in Magic. Basically, this is a build your own clone in a way. Like, okay, yeah, just take your time, do it, whatever you want to do. You can, again, 1/1 swing, cool. Dealt damage to the player. You choose one that hasn't been chosen. Again, permanently hasn't been chosen. So, you can't just keep picking the same one over and over again unless you, blink this and reset it in a way. That being said, obviously, if you pick that last one, you're not getting the rest of it. So, being able to, grow with some counters, that's nice. Also, draw a card. Obviously nice as well. And yet, early on, just putting this down as a 2-mana creature that can't be blocked, that draws you a card to start things off before you start building it up. And then eventually you get a good creature in play. Again, it is target creature you control, not your opponents, not any creature you control. So you eventually get a really good creature out, and then, yeah, make a copy of it. This one I could see in a flying men type strategy, like the low to the ground evasive creatures. This could see play in that. Although, obviously, it's only unblockable for a certain amount of time, unless, of course, you've got other unblockable creatures or evasive creatures for it to copy as well. But yeah, the card draw is nice, the counters are nice, and being able to clone something in a very interesting way, I really like it. And keep in mind, again, this is an enchantment as well, so Enchantress decks could consider it too. Moving on. Commune with Evil. Sorcery for 3 mana in black. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. 1 goes in your hand, the rest go in your graveyard. You gain 3 life. Yeah, this one's it's a very niche card. It's more specific on what kind of decks might want it. If you are looking for some card selection that also does fill your graveyard, that's nice. There are better cards out there that do that, obviously. The gaining the 3 life, I guess, would be a potential difference maker for decks that really build around life gain. But yeah, most decks not considering this one. Thank you, MTG Goldfish, for the translated version of this one. Next up, Orphans of the Wheat, Children of the Corn reference, love it. A 2/1 human for 2 mana in white with some creepy, amazing art. Whenever Orphans of the Wheat attacks, tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Orphans of the Wheat gets +1 until for each creature tapped this way. More of a limited card. Not really something that's probably going to see much commander play at all. Next up, Dashing Bloodsucker, a 2/5 vampire warrior for 4 mana in black. Eerie, whenever an enchantment you control enters whenever you fully unlock a room, +2/+0 in lifelink until up turn. Yeah, more of a limited type card. Next up, Popular Egotist, a 3/2 human rogue for 3 mana in black. Pay 1 in a black, sacrifice the creature or enchantment, gains indestructible until they have turn, tap it. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent target opponent, lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. There's the part that matters. I mean, yeah, the indestructibility is nice so that you could actually, save this in a situation where you need to save it, and it being a potential sacrifice outlet for you. Not a very efficient one, mana value-wise. That's okay, though. It does have the, hey, all right, I'm playing aristocrats. Oh, I'm sacrificing things. I'm draining you. And this does count. It doesn't say non-token permanent, so this does count, obviously, treasures, clues, blood tokens, etc., etc. So, yeah, if you have this in any kind of a deck that utilizes a bunch of tokens as creature fodder and sacrificing them, great. Do so and drain your opponent. So, yeah, yet another, Blood Artist type effect to just throw onto the pile of Blood Artist type effects that we have. Eventually, there's going to be an all Blood Artist deck, essentially, out there. It's just all the exact same thing, essentially. I'm not saying that this is Blood Artist, but yeah, it's the same similar effect. Moving on, one that I did not get to cover over the weekend that I wanted to cover. Now, the Jolly Balloon Man, and I will be giving you my quick take. The cards that I would utilize with this one here in a second. A 1/4 Human Clown with Haste for 3 mana in Boros. Pay 1, tap, create a tokens copy of another target creature control. Except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature token addition to other colors and types as flying and haste. Sacrifice begin next end step, activate only as a sorcery. Yeah, this one is really cool, really disturbing with that art, and really, really, really powerful. Oh my goodness, you can do some crazy things with this. Yeah, and also your deck title is always going to be 99 red balloons, right? There you go. Anyways, basically with this one, you get a creature token copy for very, very cheap. Again, just 1 and tap, getting a copy of any of your creatures. Yes, it is just a 1/1. That being said, you get all the ETBs, LTBs, you get the triggers, attack triggers, whatever they're going to be. You get all the different effects, and again, for just 1 mana. And you can hastily bring this down and just utilize it right away. And of course, there are some combos that you can definitely utilize this that are pretty easy to set up. Keep in mind, again, this is all at sorcery speed. That being said, you can still do, obviously, some broken, crazy things with this one. I can definitely see this one being very popular. It's already starting to see a decent amount of traction on EDH Rec. With all that said, let's jump into some cards that you should be considering for the Jolly Balloon Man. 99 red balloons. So, first up, the very first card that came to my mind, Village Bell Ringer. A 1/4 human scout with flash that costs 3 mana and white. Enters the battlefield on tap all creatures you control. Now, luckily, Wizards, unlike, with Stella Lee or whatnot, they threw a little 1 next to the ability onto this commander, so you actually have to pay to utilize the ability, which is huge, because if they didn't, this thing would go combo with a ham sandwich, essentially. This would be the new Kiki Jiki commander, essentially, because it can also combo with, Zealous Conscripts, etc. Village Bell Ringer does combo with it, but you need another piece to it. This one, again, ETB, untap all your creatures. Cool. That includes, of course, your Jolly Balloon Man, which untaps. That being said, you do need a mana dork, like, say, Palladiumir, to actually generate you mana, and when you do so, cool, you've got, well, now with Palladiumir, tap for 2 colors, so this one can actually generate you 1 more mana than you need for your Jolly Balloon Man. So again, you make an extra copy of the Bell Ringer. It untaps everything. You tap this again, you tap the commander, you do it again. You're generating infinite colorless mana. Rules are out there. I know it's not technically infinite, but we're just going to say infinite because it's easier. Infinite colorless mana, infinite Village Bell Ringers, infinite hasty balloon Bell Ringers, winning, attacking, all the things. Yeah, you basically win. If your opponents can't stop the combat, you essentially win from there. And yeah, the infinite mana really isn't all that necessary, but there you can go with that. So yeah, Bob's of Paradise, any of the other mirrors, whatever is just having for 1, that can do it for you as well. Corsair Recruiter, another interesting one that can really help you out with this commander. A 4/3 Orc Pirate for 5 mana in red. Whenever it or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature until end of turn, it gains haste, becomes a pirate to other types. This one is interesting in that this can go infinite. It does take a little bit of more maneuvering to actually go infinite with this plus a mana dork, but really not all that much more maneuvering, and you also get to steal the entire board. So there you go. Basically, again, every single time you make another one of these, it is also a pirate, orc pirate, and yeah, you get to, utilize that, and just keep making more and more of them to steal more and more things. So there you go. Yeah, basically, insurrection plus infinite mana potential with the commander as well, and swinging infinitely, and you win! Congratulations! More Primordial, I mean, even if you are not leaning into like the combo side of this, yeah, just utilize some really big spicy ETBs and just demolish your opponent. 6/4 hasty avatar for 7 mana in red. Enters for each opponent, basically threaten one of their creatures, getting control of it. Hasty, cool. So yeah, being able to just make a 1/1 copy of this for 1 mana on your turn, that is amazing. Just a 1 mana triple threat and like mass mutiny effect every single turn. That's huge. And of course, if you've got ways to untap your commander outside of, combo ways too, you got plenty of ways to untap it in these colors. I mean, other threat effects, or, in white, you've got plenty of ways to be like, untap your entire team. Cool, good for you. Then you can, of course, utilize your commander again and again and again, and kind of turn this big play into like an insurrection as well. Combustible Gearhawk, again, a lot of great ETBs in these colors. I mean, this, Sun Titan, etc. Enters the battlefield. Target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If they don't, and they should, deals damage to that player with the total mana value of those cards. So either you're dishing out potentially a lot of damage through mana value, I should say, or you are, saying, you know what, I get to draw 3 cards every single time I just pay 1 mana and tap it. I mean, I don't really have to bring this one up, but Dockside, hey, it's a good card. Who knew? Wow, okay, yeah, pay 1 mana, tap it, then make an absurd amount of treasures. I'm surprised they haven't banned this yet, and they're probably never going to. Reborn Defenses, Populate. Creature controller indestructible this turn. Populate can, of course, also be a very, very, very good thing with this, because, yes, that balloon is going to pop at some point, right? That being said, you can keep it around with a Populate effect. I mean, you're not keeping around that balloon, but you're making another copy of it that does not go away. And of course, by populating, you're making an extra copy of it. You get whatever ETB, LTB trigger it's going to have as well. So there you go. You can build up your balloon army and keep the round more permanently. Song of the World. So I'm going to keep saying this. Wizards, reprint it. What are you doing, you crazy people over there? Reprint this card. It's amazing, and I love it. Song of the World, Soul Enchantment for 6 mana in white. When you recast a spell, Populate. Yeah, this is a really cool card. Again, basically, you get this out, you start making balloons, you start populating, you keep your balloons, and then every single time you cast a spell, you're like, oh yeah, I like that balloon, that Molten Primordial balloon. Let's make another one. Let's make another one. Let's make another one. Yay! And your opponent's like, oh my gosh, when will it stop? Never. Annoy Procession. If an effect would create one of our tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of those tokens instead. Yeah, this is a very good card, as you could tell from its $44 price tag on it. Doubling up to, tokens is a huge thing, and that's why it's so expensive. You can see playing a lot of different decks out there. But yeah, being able to pay 1 tap with your commander and make 2 token copies of a creature, yeah, sure, that are 1/1 balloons, doesn't matter. You're getting a lot of value out of something like this. Could definitely lead to more infinite combos as well. Another interesting thing that you might need to keep track of as well is something like Abdel Adrian Gorian's Ward, like these kind of like blink cards, but like mass blink as well, like this. Lumbering Battlements, I think, is one too. When this enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until it leaves the battlefield. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each permanent exiled this way. This is a very interesting one in that, again, if you're going to play around with a bunch of ETBs, this is an amazing card to help you do so. Again, you make a balloon copy of this, and you just blink this and whatever else, essentially, and then they all are going to come back because that balloon's going to die. So you keep doing that again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And all of a sudden, again, your commander does have haste, so you can keep activating right away again and again and again, just 1 mana each time. I mean, I guess if you have, like, Phyrexian Altar, Ashnod's Altar, there's infinite mana right there because of those soldiers that you're making, too. But, yeah, just basically get all those ETBs and, just so much value to be had with something like this. So make sure you're considering blank. When it comes to, like, being able to utilize other things hastily as well, I mean, your commander already has haste, but, yeah, Rising of the Day could be good for you, too. When it comes to, like, Mana Dorks, okay, and that same kind of strategy where you are blinking, they're coming back. You give them haste, something like this. Creatures control of haste. Ledger creature +1 with 0. Nice. Basically, fervor, essentially. It can be really good with this kind of a commander once you get it set up properly. So, yeah, a lot of great options for the Jolly Balloon Man. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And, of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.